So last year I started making a Christmas jumper, and here is the first panel. So this video is going to be a vlog about me completing this Christmas jumper. I started this last year with my friend Liz. She made hers into a really beautiful vest, but I would like to make mine into a Christmas jumper because that's more me. I was kind of thinking, should I make a cardigan? But no, I think Christmas jumper is going to be what I want to do. So here is the panel. The Christmas 2022, my parents got me this beautiful blue yarn. My favourite yarn of all time is the Stylecraft Highland Heathers. I just love all the colours that they do. I absolutely love the way it feels. And this is actually all Highland Heathers. So the colours that we are using for this project, they're all Highland Heathers wools. This colour here, the blue, is bracken. The red colour is hawthorn. And the green is gorse. This colour is my favourite wool of all time. I have so many things crocheted out of this. I've got hats and gloves, and I just absolutely love this wool, this colour. It's beautiful olivey colour. It's so pretty. I've crocheted this using a 4mm crochet hook. It's going to be a really, really beautiful item once it is all done. So my plan is to crochet another panel to match this. I'm also thinking of trying to crochet like a nice collar to go with this, maybe in the hawthorn, the red. I think that would make it look really, really pretty. And I'm thinking just 2 sort of square panels, stitching them together and then crocheting the arms along as well in this granny square pattern. So let's see how we get on. I added this additional row as well because in the original design it just had one little border going around, but I felt like with the size of what this is going to look like, it just didn't look right, and I wanted the Christmas tree to have this kind of like, that be the focal point, and it kind of looked like it was floating. So having this like additional row of red just kind of brought that Christmas tree in and balanced it all out. So the original pattern for this was actually a lot smaller, and I think it comes from a creator called Hey Crochet. I keep seeing it absolutely everywhere. I've had to modify it to fit my kind of shape. But when you look at it closely, this is just a granny square. So you can see here is the center. You're going round up to this point, and this is where you kind of start doing like these color switches. So you can see the first color switch row is actually this row here. So you have your green crochet, and then it switches to the blue, and then it switches back to the green. And I had to do it a little bit larger just because otherwise this tiny little Christmas tree would have just been floating right in the center. I also added an additional row as well because I just thought that actually looked really, really cute. So I've managed to crochet 2 panels, so they're the exact same size. But to make this fit right, I think what I need to do is I need to add an additional panel here, an additional panel there on either side to give it the width. Then what I'm going to do is I need to crochet up and have like 2 parts like are going to go over the shoulders. So basically imagine like a sort of a triangle kind of like swoop that I can add that collar onto. So that is what I'm going to work on. So I've actually never worked in a collar before onto a piece. I've always just kind of done straight across. So this is very experimental for me. Also, I never ever use patterns. I just kind of like figure things out. I can see here I definitely have done something a little bit wrong there. But you know what? It's tacky Christmas jumper season. Things aren't going to be perfect. I've also started working on the back as well. Obviously the back is going to be a little bit higher, so I'm trying to just line that up, and as you can see, that is where we're up to with our back. I need to do 1 more row here and then match it on the opposite side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet, or join these 2 pieces together, single crochet going all the way around on both sides, and that'll give me the number of stitches that I need to make the collar. I'm going to do the collar in this gorgeous red colour, and I'm going to do just a simple ribbon that I can just stitch in later. So I've stitched together both sides, and now what I'm doing is I'm stitching back and forward right along. So I'm stitching forward right the way along, back and front to make the sides a little bit wider. Trying this on, I am actually like super excited to get this made, because last year, I don't know what it was when I was making this, my heart wasn't really in it, and now I'm making it and I'm like, okay, and I've made a few tweaks. I'm like, oh, this is looking really good, and now I'm like super excited, and I'm so gutted because the next like 3 days of work is Christmas jumper day. So tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and I don't think that and my last day in work is Friday, and I'm off this weekend, and I don't think I'm gonna get it done. I'm so gutted. I am worrying a little bit because I had to climb into the loft today to go and see the rest of my wool stash, because it was so long ago that I got given this wool, and I thought that I had about 2 balls left. I didn't, I only had the 1. So I've used quite a bit of it to actually make the additional panels, and this is all I've got left. I think I might have about 3/4 of it left. So I'm gonna just crack on and just see how far I get with the sleeves, but I might need to buy another ball of the bracken. I've also put these markers here because this is where I'm gonna be joining from, stitching it from here right down to the edge and leaving that gap for the sleeves. What I've done on either side as well is I've added an additional 8 rows. So again, stitching that from the front to the back, so when you fold it over, it's an additional 16 rows once it'll actually be stitched together. So I completed the ribbon today on the train, and I've just finished stitching it in. It looks so pretty. It's really coming together. So this is what the jumper looks like on. Done the little collar. It's fitting really well. So now all I need to do is stitch down the sides and then put the sleeves on, and then do the ribbon on the bottom and the ribbon for the cuffs. So I have just finished stitching the 2 panels together, going from the armpit all the way down. What I need to do now is I need to crochet going all around the bottom, because I'm going to be making that ribbon that is going to go at the bottom to match the cuffs and to match the collar. I need to make sure I know how many stitches to do. So this is me crocheting all the way around. It ended up being 234 single crochets. So when I come to do the ribbon at the bottom, I need to make sure that I go 234 rows. How I do my ribbon is really simple. I just single crochet along, so I think I'm probably going to do about 15, and then working them back loops. So for the sleeves, I've just gone for the same granny square stitch, and it's fitting really lovely. It's not too big, it's not too small, but I do think as soon as I get past the elbow, I'm gonna have to start tapering it in, because I don't want, once I get to the wrists, I don't want it to be really bellowy and large. So I have just ran out of the bracken wool in the Highland heathers. So I've only just managed to get 3/4 of the sleeve on the left sleeve. So that's 1/4 of the way done now. So I've ordered 1 more ball, which I think will be more than enough. I'll probably have a little bit left over. So now what I need to do is just to keep the project moving, I need to be working on the cuffs, and I need to be working on the trim for the bottom of the jumper. And I think I'm going to do this quite sort of deep, quite sort of wide, so I think I need to make sure I'm kind of tackling that first. So that's what I'm going to do. While I've been waiting for the bracken to arrive, I've been working on the band to go on the bottom of the jumper. This was very time consuming, working in those cable stitches, and then what I did was I single crocheted all along the top. That way when I'm stitching it to the bottom of the jumper, you can see here you got the single crochets. It means that that cable knit at the bottom, that cable crochet, is going to lay flat when it's stitched to the jumper. Cable, all you do is just single crochet and only working in those back loops, and it produces this really lovely cable stitch. You'll notice as well that I've been using those markers. I've got those little safety pins. They are every 20 rows, so I can keep an eye on how many stitches I'm doing. The bracken finally arrived, so today's task is going to be trying to get those sleeves completed. I'm going to try and do both sleeves. I've got sort of nearly up to half of one sleeve plus the other. Does anyone else hate being on Sleeve Island? I hate being on Sleeve Island. It is not a fun place to be. So this is where I'm up to with the sleeve. When I've got to the 20th row, this is where I've started to taper in. I said earlier that I didn't want the cuff to be really, really bellowy and really, really large, so I've decided to start reducing it. So what I've done is I've divided it into 3, and I've just been reducing those sleeves down. And how I've done that is by every 10th stitch, because it's around 30 stitches, around every 10th stitch, what I've done is instead of doing 3 double crochets, I've reduced that down to 2. So as you can see here, I've got 3, and then I have a 2 double crochet in that granny square. So this is what my wrist looks like next to it. So it is gonna be kind of bellowy, and you know what, at this point I am just like gonna go with the flow, and I'm just gonna try and make it look as nice as possible. A little puff sleeve will be nice, and maybe on the next project I'll try and do it a bit more tapered. So this is where I'm up to at the moment with the sleeve. About another 8 rows and I should be able to add the cuff. The collar fits really, really nice. The panel at the bottom also is fitting really, really nice, and it's coming together really, really quickly. I'm hoping to have this done, or the next sleeve done by Saturday. Oh, let's see, fingers crossed. So I've just put a little marker here. This is gonna be from here another 8 rows, and then we'll try the jumper on again. Okay, so I have now completed the sleeve. It's all ready for the cuff to be added on. So what I need to do now is I need a single crochet going around, and then I'll know how many rows I need to do for that cuff. Things have gone wrong. Last night I realised that I ran out of the bracken, that lovely blue wool. And if I order from anywhere now, it's not going to arrive before Christmas, and I really want to get this done by the weekend. So all day I have been stressing out and thinking, what am I going to do? I don't have time to go to Abercam Fabrics. I can't get it delivered. So how am I going to complete this project? I have half a sleeve left to do. So what I decided to do was I decided to frog part of that left sleeve. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a stripe in the gorse. So trying to even it out as best I can. I've got loads of this gorse because, like I said at the start of the video, this is my favourite wool. So it's going to look a little bit weird. It's going to look a little bit strange. But you know what? This is an ugly Christmas jumper. It's not supposed to be perfect. This is also a really good way of pushing myself to try to problem solve in my projects. Normally what I'd do is I'd just go to the yarn shop, buy more wool. I've been stressed. I've been so stressed about it all day. It's been proper occupying me thoughts. But you know what? If I'd gone and bought more bracken, I'd have bracken left over because I would have bought a whole skein of wool. And that's just adds into my yarn stash, which my yarn stash is huge. I don't need to buy any more wool. So let's problem solve. So this has actually worked out for the best. Right now, I don't feel great about it. I do not feel great about it. But you know what? I'm proud that I'm pushing myself to do some problem solving, and I'm also saving money right before Christmas on a project that's been sat in the cupboard for a year. So this is what it's looking like so far. I've got a row of the gorse, row of the bracken, row of the gorse, and I'm actually really loving how this is looking. It's so cute. So things have gone a bit wrong again. when I unravelled the sleeve, I didn't unravel it enough. And now I'm running out of the bracken again. And this is all I've got left. I've only got this amount left. So the right sleeve, I've just started adding bracken in. And what I've done is I've started with 1 row of gorse, then a row of bracken, then 2 rows of gorse even, and then a row of bracken, and then 3 rows of gorse, and then I'm going to end up just paneling it fully, gorse or the green, all the way to the cuff. And you know what? We are going to roll with the punches. We're going to see what this looks like. We are problem solving. I have my emotional support puppy next to me. This is Miss Purdy. She is my mum and dad's dog. And yeah, I just think that she's mine. When my mum and dad got her, we were actually living with my parents, me, my husband and my little boy and my dog. And I was there the day that they brought her home. So she's just, oh, she's my absolute angel. And I feel really bonded with her. I've ran out of bracken. It's completely run out now. And I've run out by the end of the row and I've unravelled it and I messed with my tension. I'm just gonna add the gorse. So I have just finished the sleeves on the jumper. So as you can see, this side, a bit more chunky in the green than this side. But you know what? Ugly Christmas jumper, and I don't even think it's ugly. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So now what I need to do is I need to finish off the cuffs. So it worked out in the end actually being 26 stitches. Not 26 stitches, sorry. 52 single crochets. So that means that I need to half that. So it's 26 rows. So I'm going to crochet that up and see what that looks like. It's actually 1 in the morning right now. I'm feeling really crazy. So I've just stitched on both of the cuffs. This is what it looks like. Now I said 26 rows. That was definitely incorrect. It was actually 52 rows. So I actually went the full length of the single crochets going around the bottom of the sleeve. So it worked out 52 rows in total. So this is the finished product. I finally finished my Christmas jumper that started last year and now it is all finished. I am so happy. This is the first garment that I've actually made out of the Highland Heather's wool, and I am so happy that I've got this really beautiful, beautiful jumper. Now, I learned quite a lot from this project. I'm trying not to just automatically go to, I need to buy wool, I need to buy this or I need to buy that. I have such a large yarn stash and I knew that I had more of this gorse. Having the issue of being so close to Christmas, it made it impossible to buy that bracken. But because of that issue, it kind of pushed me to make a resolution, and having this interesting kind of designs on the sleeve, I would have never ever done that if I hadn't gone to problem solving. I'm actually really happy, and now I think with other projects, I might try to maybe problem solve and see if I can come up with a resolution rather than just going straight to, I'm going to go and buy more yarn. Because what will happen when I go to the yarn stores, I'm not just going to buy the yarn that I need, I'm going to buy other yarn as well. Because you know what it's like, when you're crafting, you're going to see everything. Oh gosh, just don't. Oh. Do you like it? Yeah. I know you seen me making it, didn't you?
I did not yet, but now I've seen it, it's gorgeous.
Was it not nice before you seen it?
No. Oh.
What do you think of the sleeves? I ran out of the blue wool and then I had to put the green into it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
That's good though.
Because I thought I'll just put some green into it instead of putting the blue straight into it.
Yeah.
So it looks a bit uneven, doesn't it? But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Thanks, man. Little Christmas tree. It's the same on the back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, man. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Happy Christmas and hope you have a lovely new year. And thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.